purpose of this film is to show you something of the dances of Southern Africa, the dance songs which go with them, and the enthusiasm with which they are performed by representative groups of dancers, men, women, and children. Many of the men go to work on the mines of Rhodesia and South Africa, where they continue to dance their country-style dances as the most enjoyable form of recreation.
Andrew, you and your family have been active in Africa for almost 2 generations, collecting and describing the whole range of African arts. In what have you been particularly interested yourself lately?
Well, I've been studying African music itself. I've been trying to find out the structure of it, to find out what the notes are, how it's actually performed and played. And also I've been trying to discover the aesthetic principles in it, what makes Africans enjoy it, what is the enjoyment, the appreciation of African music from the point of view of Africans.
Well, how do you proceed?
Well, my method is, and has been for a few years, to actually learn to play African instruments myself, because I'm convinced that this is the only way to really get to understand African music, by playing yourself to the satisfaction of African musicians. And I've learned a couple of instruments this way so far. I'm still only a beginner.
Which ones have you actually learned?
Well, that's one that I've learned.
And what's that?
That's a shona mbira from the Zambezi Valley. Hand piano, it's called in English sometimes.
What are the eventual goals of your studies?
Well, what we have to do is to study traditional music in Africa, to collect it and do the learning and the writing. We must write textbooks, and we must educate modern educated Africans to a conscious awareness, to a conscious abstracted appreciation of their own music.
Well, what is the practical significance for these studies for us in America?
Well, that is another of my purposes, that I think it's about time that African music was appreciated and understood in other countries in Africa, in the countries among themselves, and in the rest of the world too, because you see, music is definitely one of the first of the arts in Africa. It's much more important, I would say, than sculpture. And I think if we can learn to understand the aesthetic principles behind African music, and perhaps educate the rest of the world in these, then our new African nations can perhaps start to take their place in the cultural world and get that recognition that African music certainly deserves.
The Mteo shaking dance by young men of the Xhosa tribe, performed in the dance arena of a Johannesburg gold mine. The Zulu have a number of dances, religious and secular, most of which are characterized by the stamping action of the feet. This is the introduction to the annual Christian dances of one of their independent churches, performed near their headquarters at Inanda in Natal. They divide themselves in traditional manner into impis, or age groups, men by themselves and women by themselves. Married women in their distinctive gala dress. These young, unmarried women, who call themselves daughters of the Church of Nazareth, are dedicated to the work of the Church. Young Zulu girls under the age of 18. One of them plays a homemade trumpet to accompany the sound of the drums. The elders of the Church of Shembe, the evangelists, dress themselves in white surplices and dance together in a single group by themselves. Zulu men from the country who belong to this church like to dance in their traditional dress.
How can we as Westerners begin to appreciate these African musics?
Well, I think it's a problem that's very similar to the basic problem of anthropology, of research anthropology, which is that you have to get down to the grassroots of the culture you're studying and try and appreciate it in its own terms, and that's very much true of African music. You see, because we're starting from an entirely different viewpoint in enjoying African music. I often try and briefly summarize the difference between African music and Western music by saying that, well, the whole essence of Western music, to me, is contained in the convention and the institution of a conductor. Mm-hmm. Because in the West, one man can get up and with one beat can conduct 5,000 musicians if necessary. But in Africa, there is never a conductor, never. What holds them together then? But African music is very tightly knit. They are held together, but there's never any one man conducting them.
Zulu men working in towns still prefer to dance their traditional stamping dance, the Ndlamu. These men from the north of Zululand, the Zingili clan, like to drill to music before they start the dance routine itself. Now the traditional dance routine begins. Yet another variation of the same Ndlamu stamping dance can be seen on the goldfields of the Transvaal. The signal to start the routine is given by the leader on the far side of the team with a single stamp of his foot. Another distinctive type of dance is done by the Baka clan. This is performed in Wellington gumboots and is called isiqatulo. It is a more modern form of an older country step dance, they say. Over 150 years ago, some of the Nguni people left their Zulu country and went north, where they are now living amongst the Chewa people of Malawi, over 1,000 miles away. There, their dancing formation changed, taking on something of the characteristics of the northern dances, and particularly of the women's circle or ring dances. And Ndlamu now became much more informal, a compromise between two opposite styles, the circle dance and the line dance. Children start at a very early age to do their ring dances, and each generation of girls invents new steps and new actions. Although the Nguni men have retained most of their traditional gala dress over the years, the dance itself has changed its form. back again in the south. The other major tribe, other than the Zulu, is the Sotho. Their form of stamping dance, a kind of striding, takes the place of the familiar Ndlamu. Mohobelo is its name. The Barotse, or Lozi, of the upper Zambezi Valley are said to be distant relatives of the Sotho. They are expert drum makers and delight in several forms of step dances to the sound of drums.